talk radio, music, and podcasts from the Korean Peninsula. KoreaFM.net. While South Korea recently made headlines by winning its first World Cup gold medal for bobsled, that's not the country's only World Cup gold medal so far this year. This month, South Koreans competed in France at the Bakery World Cup, where they, too, earned their first gold medal. I spoke with a veteran of the competition to learn more about its history.
My name is Jeffrey Yankellow. So I work for King Arthur Flour, but I'm also the chairman of the board of the Bread Bakers Guild of America. And the Guild is the association in the U.S. that sponsors the team that competes in Paris. I was on the team in 2005 that captured the gold medal, and I coached the team in 2012 that captured the silver. And then this past competition in 2016, I just helped manage the team. So that was more of a role where I managed the budget, helped coordinate practice dates, logistics, and basically make things as easy as possible for the team to do what they need to do. So it's evolved a little bit over the years. So it started in 1992 by Christian Vabret, who's a MOF, which essentially translates to a master worker of France. He was a baker who wanted to bring countries from around the world to basically share knowledge, and with the ultimate goal of advancing the craft, raising awareness of artisan baking, and creating this camaraderie among bakers. So he first held a competition in 1992. It's happened since then in 94, 96, 99, 2002, 2005, 2008, 2012, 2016. So originally, the top six finishers would be invited back, and then Christian would reach out and find six other teams to compete. Then a few cycles ago, they started what's called the Louis Lesaffre Cup. So basically, that was a regional competition that was used to fill the remaining spots at the Coupe de Monde. So starting in 2005, the top three teams were brought back. They had an automatic bid. And then the other teams had to qualify through this competition, the Louis Lesaffre Cup. So there'll be a regional competition to earn a place in the actual competition in Paris. So for the last year, those regional events, and I believe there are 5 of them this last round, took place. And then the actual World Cup of baking took place last week.
While previous Baking World Cup competitions were for the most part dominated by specific teams, in recent years, other countries have started to make a name for themselves in the world of baking.
In the past, up to 2005, you could bet your money that the 3 top teams in general fighting for the main spots were Japan, the U.S., and France. And then you'd always see some strong performances from Sweden. Italy was generally there, the Swiss, but generally, if I had to pick top 3 competitors through 2005, it was Japanese, United States, and the French. I think what it has to do with really is a few different things. Some countries are just more organized than others, so we have, they have very strong associations supporting the teams that are competing. Also, you have it comes down to budget. So, and every country is different. For example, the U.S. it's very expensive for us to bring team members together to practice, so we need a fairly large budget because our country is so big. Whereas in Europe or a lot of these Asian countries are a little bit smaller, so maybe they don't need as much of a budget. But budget is a big part of it, and how much money teams have to go towards practice. And then also just experience. So the teams that tend not to do so well, all in all, tend to be teams that maybe don't have as strong support in their country, and also teams that are new, like emerging teams. So in 2012, there was a team from Senegal. There was a team from, I think it was Costa Rica. This year, Mauritius was there. So countries, it's not because they don't, I don't want to say they don't perform well. It's just that they're less experienced. So they don't get back as often because, and they're learning. So what's the best thing that's coming to them there is they're getting there. They may not perform that or finish that highly, but they're gaining huge experience, which is going to make them better in the future. And I think in general, people who don't know the competition that well, they think, well, Asian countries, they're rice-eating countries. What do they know about bread? But there's a very strong bakers in these Asian countries. China, they finished in 4th. And they're very focused culture. So they put their mind to it and they go for it. and they focus and they learn. And I can remember seeing South Korea as far back as 2002. I mean, in 2008, 2012, I think they had very strong performances. They just never made it onto the podium. So they just kept chipping away at it, learning, I'm sure, every time they went. And it paid off for them big time. First time on the podium, and they captured the gold.
To find out more about how this year's competition was judged and how South Korea was able to pull off its first place gold medal victory, I spoke with one of the competition's organizers.
My name is Nadine Debay. I am project manager for the Louis Lesaffre Cup, which is the pre-selection of the Bakery World Cup. The criteria are based on the shape, on the weight. You have also the decoration of the product, and you have also, of course, the test. For the test, only the jury members can test the product, so only the jury members can really make the difference. And in addition, in the artistic piece, you have also the integration of everything. You have a theme, you have to illustrate the theme by making something. You have also, in addition, some kind of sandwich and breads. And what is really remarkable is that among the 12 countries participating to the Bakery World Cup this week, the South Korea is the only country which was able to make this perfect integration. Remarkably, with baguettes, because the theme of the artistic piece was the main sport in your country. And South Korea decided to make archery on a horse. And what is really unique is the shape of the baguettes, which integrates perfectly in the design of the horse.
And finally, with South Korea coming in first, followed by Taiwan, France, and China, the strongest teams competing in the Baking World Cup are now from Asia.
We have seen the evolution of the podium of the Bakery World Cup, and it is always more Asiatic countries which are on the podium. The difference between France and China was not really important. And so we could have been really in Asia for this podium, entirely Asia. And so it means that the bakery is really no more a question of French bakers. The know-how is everywhere.
For KoreaFM.net, I'm Chance Dorland.